Well, this video is going to be a little bit different. On this channel, we've torn my Tesla completely apart and done all kinds of different installs. We've tested out full self-drive to see its capability, and we've done lots of tips and tricks kind of things to do with Teslas. But what we've never done is built anything specifically for a Tesla, and that is what I'm going to attempt to do in this video. Please hold your judgment. So a company called Creality reached out to me, and they make things like 3D printers and laser engravers and cutters. And they asked if I'd be willing to review and test out their Creality Falcon2 Pro, which has all kinds of cool new features on it. And, whoa! And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna take on this challenge. So I've listed everything right here on the screen. You can see the 4, 5, 6, I don't know how many it's gonna end up being, different projects that I've attempted to make here or engrave. So I'll have some different kind of projects I'm gonna try and make, and then I'm gonna engrave different things with neat designs. Now keep in mind, I have never done anything like this before. I've never used a machine like this. So on this journey, I've learned a ton. And if you're watching this video, I've had this thing for about a month and a half to 2 months. So let's hope the stuff you see only gets better from here. But what will be impressive is the capability of a machine like this. So then let's get started with my first, I guess, Tesla accessory. My first project that I wanted to make was a coaster because I figured it'd be pretty simple and there was a lot of different ways I could learn how to use this machine. I made a couple different designs from just a little squiggly line pattern to like an actual Tesla symbol that was just engraved in a very plain circle. I then totally unplanned decided to glue the one onto the other, putting the Tesla symbol kind of like in a little cage behind it, which came out pretty cool and was kind of fun to look at. But I really wanted to test just how fine this laser cutter could actually cut, so I wanted to make something a little bit more intricate, so I started off making a new design. So the first thing I did was hop on a software program called Lightroom. I started putting little Tesla symbols all over in the circle, and very quickly, as you can see, it started looking just like a pizza. But I do like my Tesla and I do like pizza, so I figured let's keep pushing forward. Now to counter the anchovy looking Tesla symbols, I took a large Tesla symbol and stuck it right in the middle and hoped it would make it look just a little bit better, which you'll have to be the judge later. I'm still undecided. Then using the super impressive camera feature inside of the Falcon2 Pro, I was able to place it exactly where I wanted it on the piece of wood inside of the laser cutter. Then I pulled up the live view and waited very impatiently for it to finish. All right, it just finished. It took about 3 minutes, and take a look at this detail. Look at this. It is just insane just how sharp they actually was able to cut that. And watch this. That slid right out of the middle just perfectly. And this thing's pretty cool too. It's like a little Tesla symbol tree. All right, so after a few different failed attempts, here's a final result for my coaster. So using a total of 2 different circles, I started off with engraving the Tesla symbol in the middle, then cutting out all the tiny little Tesla logos all around it, and then cut out one large circle for the back and simply glued it all together. And I think it turned out pretty cool. The next project I'm gonna try to make with that is an actual key holder for your fob. So you have these little Tesla car keys that we all use, and it's nice to have something like this to slide them into when you're going to things like ballets and whatever to hold them. Now I don't have the proper materials for this because it's gonna end up being super thick like this versus super thin, but we're gonna do it anyway as a fun little challenge. So to get started, we're gonna get all the right measurements, both the length and the width. And the thought is that I will print out one square in the back, cut a really thin layer around this edge here that'll give us a little bit of depth, and then we'll cut this design in the front so we can slit down into it and try to duplicate this exactly. And of course, we'll put in the Model 3 symbol and maybe some Tesla logos in there as well. I've got the wood all ready to go. I'm not really sure how this is gonna turn out, but I'm pretty excited to find out. All right, check it out. They're all ready to go. So this is all the different pieces right here. So if I lift this thing out, hopefully these will all break out of it, which they all easily did pop out. Get this last little piece. So this is gonna end up looking like this. We'll have this piece down there, then I'll glue this in the middle. See, I told you it's gonna be thick. And then this piece will go on top like that. And of course, like I said, you would really be making this with something like leather, not with this, but it still can show you what this thing can do and what you can make with this. So this is gonna be kind of fun. Let's glue it together. And so there it is, our Tesla keychain holder. We got a little slot for our card. We got our place to hook it to our keychain. We got our cool Tesla logos. We got our design and our name on there. And that was pretty fun. And of course, if this was made out of leather, this would be all much tighter. We won't worry about the phone or the card actually sliding out of there. But the concept worked. I just need to get some leather to try it. All right, so for my next challenge, I'm gonna be making bookmarks. I'm a huge reader, I love reading. I read literally every day for hours. Well, maybe not hours, more like minutes. And it's actually really not reading, it's more like listening to audiobooks. So I'm gonna make some bookmarks out of wood as well as making some out of acrylic. So take a look at this one. I made this one out of wood for my Let It Drive clothing brand. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, it's not super cool, it's actually pretty basic, but take a look at the Tesla symbol. This is what I wanted to show you. Focus. Look how precise this 22-watt laser was able to cut this. That tiny little piece of wood between the top and bottom of the Tesla symbol, it was able to cut that and not break. I don't know. Maybe that's not impressive, but I'm impressed. And now inside of here, I had it cut the exact same thing with acrylic to see what the difference is. So let's give it a try. So right now, this is what I have with the acrylic, just a basic outline for the bookmark. And so next, to get the engraving on the front of this, I'm gonna use my favorite feature about the Creality Falcon 2 Pro, which is the camera. This makes lining up what you wanna put on here just so simple. Check this out. So I'm just gonna set this on here just the way I like it. And because you get all these customizable little bars in here, you can just make them narrow or wide apart depending on what you need. So I got 3 right here nice and tight together. I've got this placed on there the way I want it. Now I'm gonna come over here to my camera controls, and you can see here, I've got a live view of what's going on inside of the laser cutter. So for example, I put my hand in here, you can see my hand is right there. So it's a real live view. And what I can do here, I'm gonna slide this back over here, is I can hit update overlay. And that's gonna take a right now snapshot of what's currently going on inside of the laser cutter. So as you can see, my piece of wood is right there. Now all I have to do is grab my object that I made and overlay it exactly where I want it, which is gonna be about right there. Now, because this has an enclosure right now, even though I've framed it up and it's ready to go, all I have to do is click start on my computer. It won't start right now because this is opened up. So it's a really nice safety feature that you're not gonna blind yourself, because the way that this is all set up, you don't actually need these fancy safety glasses, okay? The way that this is set up is all the way around, full enclosure, sides, top, everything. You get viewing angles from every direction, but once this is closed, you see it turns on, and now it's ready to go, and I can stand right here and watch it. So let me show you what's going on here. This right here is an air pump. So that's pumping air through this tube. And I don't know if you can see it too well up here, the glare of the window, but it's going right there onto that tube on the top of the laser cutter. And then you get this ventilation right here, and inside of there, there's actually a fan. And I have that run all the way behind here, and it's ventilating out my window right here. And the way I have this set up is if I'm gonna be working out or doing something else in here, I can just pull that out, close the window, and then I just hook it right here on this little nail. I also went and bought this stand-up desk so it can be lower or higher depending on the kind of work I wanna do at the moment. And so I'm pretty excited about this little workstation. You also have this safety shut-off. You can lock it right here so no one else can, open this up or get hurt or anything like that, or use it. You have the option to make the light auto or to just stay on. There's like a bar light down underneath here. Same thing over here with the fan. You can have it set to auto or just turn it on. And then here's how all the connections work. So you have your power, then you have your USB-C that's being connected to actually my little USB dongle to my computer. And the other cord connected to the dongle goes up here to the USB-C port that goes straight to the camera. So really fast connection, works flawlessly every single time. And then of course it goes to my MacBook computer, which is running Lightburn. And another feature about this guy that, to be honest, I don't know how all of them don't have this, is that you get this monstrous drawer you can pull out here. And that's how you can get rid of all of your little Tesla symbols and whatever other wood chips and junk that you have in here. Really nice and easy. And one thing that I'm realizing too is it's protecting my table that's underneath of this from the laser, because otherwise I guess it just goes right through to the table. Now of course, after it's done, there is some work you have to do to get it all ready to go, such as picking out a little bit of the protective sticker that goes over top of the acrylic and on the back side. I found that a little Exact knife over here and some tweezers are a really good set of tools to do this. And here it is, Let It Drive. And this is the transparent acrylic. So here we have both. We have the Let It Drive with wood, and we have the Let It Drive with the acrylic. And when you put the transparent acrylic on top of the wood engraving looks like a shadow for the acrylic. How cool is that? Now this next project is gonna be my favorite by far, and we're taking it to a whole nother level. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be building a box, like a sign box that is lit up with LED lights for like Tesla. And I made a little bit of a mock version of this out of cardboard, but the real one's gonna be a little bit different than this, and a base on it, and of course it's gonna have RGB lighting inside of it. So here's how I'm doing this. First, I went online to this laser cut box generator and generated the size of box that I wanted. Then I input it into Lightburn. I added my Tesla graphics. Then I had to create a hole large enough to fit the LED lights through, set my power and speed, and then click start. All right, let's take a look. Let's see if I got the speed and power correct. Oh yeah, easy. See, it's all falling out already. So this one I did with 5mm basswood, and I want this one to like hopefully turn out well so I can put it in my office because I just love things that glow. So hopefully this all actually works. So just a little tiny bit of cleaning up to do on that one, but most of these are coming out. So this one as well, I'll have to do a little bit, just not fully cut through on that back end there. Okay, so we got all of our pieces. We got the Tesla symbol right here. We've got the back, which has a spot for the USB or LED lights to kind of come out and go back and plug in. We have the two sides, the top and the bottom. And of course, because I don't want to do this twice, we're gonna glue it together. And so that's what it's looking like so far. I have the top and I have the sides on it, but I'm gonna leave the back off until we put the LED lights all along the inner part here, and then I'll run them out that little hole in the back and we'll complete it. All right, and there it is. And because it's RGB, of course, we can change the color. So that was a very cool little project, and it's one that I'm actually going to use inside of my office, but there still was a lot of mistakes made with this. For example, I didn't get the bottom quite perfectly straight, so it's a little bit offset, as well as I didn't even think about the fact that the A was going to cut out the entire middle. I should have left a little line down there to hold that center. But for my first try on something like this, I'm happy with it, and it looks really cool in my office. My second attempt when I made one for my YouTube channel brand came out a lot better. I put YouTube on one side, a little Tesla symbol on the other, and the YouTube logo on the other. Now, of course, I couldn't test out a laser cutter without making some kind of a sign for my garage. So of course I went with the typical Tesla parking only, all other vehicles will be towed away sign. And what's so cool about these laser cutters is you can even tell it to cut out little holes like this, so I have a spot to really just hang it on some nails on the wall. But stuff like that sign are a really great example of the power of a good software program like Lightburn with a really capable laser burner machine like this one, because that sign, I just found a random picture online of it, I put it in the program, had it trace it, and then with a couple of clicks, I've got a cool sign for my garage. And you can do that with pretty much anything you can find if you want to burn it onto a piece of wood or acrylic or something like that. Now the next project I'm going to make with the Creality laser is a Tesla jigsaw puzzle. You can download a template offline, create your own design. Just as I've done right here using Lightburn, what I did was I took a picture of a Tesla Model 3, I used a program to trace it, added a Tesla logo in the background, then I'm going to have it fill out. And then it's gonna cut out this puzzle. All right, here it is. This is our puzzle. So what I did is I basically took a full sheet and used the whole thing. So on the top, obviously Tesla, my YouTube channel on the bottom. Then I engraved a Tesla Model 3 in the middle, which I would have probably done a little bit darker looking at it now. And then I put a deep engraving of a Tesla symbol here, and then had it go in and actually cut the puzzle pieces out. And so now we got us a pretty awesome puzzle. I then took another sheet of 3mm basswood and I glued it to the bottom of this one. So we actually have a base to build the puzzle on. And I think it came out really good. I mean, the precision of the cuts are just absolutely perfect on there. The puzzle pieces fit in there really nice. And just one more piece and it's gonna be done. Perfect. So these are 5 examples of things that even brand new rookies that have no experience can do in their first month of owning a laser cutter like this. I didn't think I would even get into doing some 3D stuff, but I've even dabbled in that a little bit, like that glowing sign that I made. But even if somebody wanted to make a store on this, maybe an Etsy page, and sell some of this stuff, people can send you custom designs, custom pictures that they want, and you can build little puzzles for them for games or for gifts or whatever. For example, take a look at this. So a friend of mine realized I had one of these machines and that I was learning how to use it, and he asked if I would make him something for him and his wife's anniversary coming up. And so what he wanted me to do is build a glowing, again with RGB lights, heart like this that has their names on it and their anniversary date. And take a look at the precision on this. The wood on the top, this is all bent. The laser cutter just came in and sliced it and cut that, so I was able to just sort of bend it around like that. Of course, I still got to redo this whole front here because I haven't quite figured out, even though I know how to do it, I just have to learn and do it, how to not just have giant holes for things like bees and all the whole, O's and all that stuff. But I'll get that figured out. And then this will have an RGB lighting that'll glow, can sit on a shelf and be really cool. And you can make stuff like this and sell it for really good money. on your online stores if you guys are, you know, into doing that kind of thing. I have no idea if it's actually profitable. I've never looked into any of that. I don't plan on doing that with this here. This is just for fun projects around the house. I'm gonna make a charging station for all the iPads for the kids. I'm gonna make kind of little tool racks for things like this, all my Allen wrenches that are all crazy. I'm gonna just take some of this base wood here and I'm gonna custom make holders for all these things. I mean, when I just look around my garage, I'm a kind of an organization freak. I instantly just think about how can I make and what can I use this machine for to create more stuff. So again, I wanna thank Creality for sending this out to me. This was a definitely out of the box design. I've never reviewed anything like this. It was like, had to learn it, learn the software, and it was absolutely a fun project to learn. Again, total rookie here, lots of mistakes. Looking forward to getting a lot better with this. But if you guys are into the creative side of things, if this kind of thing interests you, this machine right here, there's a reason why it's one of the top ones out there. It's safe, it's super precise, and it's been a ton of fun to work with. I'll put the link for it down below in the description if you guys have any more or want any more information about it. Thanks for watching another review here on the channel. Hope you guys had fun with this one, and I'll see you on the next video.